Click the links for Odysee, Bishu, and Coffee. So, Black Widow at the box office. Yes, of course, it's going to hit number one. Fat neckbeard Coomers are going to go watch it in the theater. They'll cry while masturbating furiously using probably the butter from the popcorn as lubricant. Then they'll buy it on Disney for $30 so that they can coom in the privacy of their porn bunker filled with Mountain Dew, vodka, weed, and tissues, which, now that I say it aloud, actually doesn't sound that bad. Admittedly, the cooming is going to be a little bit less because she got these silicone fun bags removed for some reason. Probably, maybe she wants to be a real actor in her, I don't know, later October of her career. Because 36 in Hollywood is like, that's getting old for Hollywood. But you combine a decent-looking MILF with a comic book movie, you're going to get obese neckbeards lined up to throw money at a woman who absolutely, I don't know if hates them is too strong a word. More is just they're invisible. They're just sources of that $25 million that she's getting paid. And plus, to be fair, movies have been a little light lately, so people just want to see anything, even if it is a very mediocre James Bond type of film. The thing about ScarJo, she was a good-looking chick with fun bags. She still is good looking, but she was never really set up to be a good actor. She got a nose job and some fake titties, and she played the hot, slutty girl. And, really, you don't, I don't want to be sexualized. Then why'd you get the work done? That was for me. No, it wasn't. And then why didn't you try for roles of where acting skills were required as opposed to just being the slutty chick running around shaking your boobs? Main question you have to ask her. She was in cartoon movies for neckbeards. She would shake everything she had. That was her whole shtick. All she had to do was stay skinny for 15 years, and that's what she did for 15 years in Hollywood. Stayed skinny, and she was in movies. Because she acted, nobody really knows. Black Widow will do pretty well because it is playing to an audience that's hungry for entertainment and thirsty for a sexy MILF poon. So it will do much better than it would have. The stars are sort of aligned, sort of like they did with Captain Marvel, which made $1 billion because it was between the two biggest films in film history. But Captain Marvel 2 isn't likely to do as well unless Brie somehow gets the Coomers interested in her somewhat mannish face. Again, I think she probably looks better in person. She just, when she's on screen, she kind of comes across like she's on the spectrum, and she's got lower Loomer levels of personality. For myself, I could give a rat's tail if I ever see a Disney film again. I definitely won't pay to see it, knowing what I know now about Disney. I know that they're not going to dial it down. They can't. This is who they are. Disney are like just a bunch of Epstein, Weinstein types who are looking for kids to diddle and women to abuse. Probably men too, to be honest. So this Bleeding Fool article, prepare yourself for, this article goes into detail about how surprised the writers were when they wanted to include BLT storylines to brainwash kids. Disney was totally on board with kitty diddling propaganda. I have no problem with the BLT community, of course, but kids should be kids. Just leave them alone. Let them make their own mind. They know kids are monkey see, monkey do. The rates of the BLT kids have exploded. It is 100% a fad pushed by the media, who have their plans in place to further their own goals. By turning kids into catamite bocce bozzies of San Francisco's. There's more to it than that, but YouTube is big asshole. My point is, Disney is doing the dance of the seven veils, but the final veil really reveals, pleased to meet you, won't you guess my name? Because these people are biblically evil. Anyway, ScarJo is sort of making the point that actors are idiots, and outside of their echo chamber, don't really sound as smart as they do inside it. She's talking about gendered heroes in movies and the role of the sexes in society in films, which nowadays might actually be hate speech, depending on the mood of Twitter. Because who is a man or woman? How do you know who is subjugating whom? Maybe the oppressors were actually women the whole time. And why focus on sex when ignoring the, I'll say, other factors? Maybe those other factors are also very relevant. Maybe the oppressors were in my vagina the whole time. So the movie is about how horribly abused the girls were under the Bolsheviks, which is a pretty brave stance to take when you consider that they basically, essentially run Hollywood now. Weinstein and all the rest almost certainly believe in Marxism. At least he's doing a few years. I would like to think it would send a message to the others in Hollywood, but it won't. Maybe, I won't say that. But I don't think prison time is going to send them a lesson. Though, to be fair, I do think Epstein learned a lesson. And no, he didn't escape. It's much easier to just get rid of him. He was a problem, so they probably put some benzos in his food, snuck in his cell, and just wrapped a cord around his neck. Yes, America is a second world country, because that kind of stuff happens in second world countries. Happens in Russia a lot. Putin has a habit of doing that kind of thing. You know, at first I thought ScarJo was kind of insulting her fat neck beard sock loving fans, but she's doing interviews saying that women are underpaid in Hollywood, and that's an internal Hollywood issue, so kind of good for her for bringing it up. Women should absolutely get paid more in Hollywood. 100%, I'm all on board. They should be paid equal to the men. But everyone should be paid more in Hollywood. Everyone from the sound guy to the stunt women, body doubles, directors, producers, line readers, everyone should get paid the exact same rate per time period. I'm not joking. That's equity. Do you want fairness or not? They say they want it on Twitter, but somehow when it comes to their own industry, it might actually work in Hollywood because they have the Film Actors Guild as their union. Why would Robert Downey Jr. get paid $65 million, but a makeup artist only make, I don't know, $143K a year? Most actors say they're socialists, so I'm sure that they will jump on board and help their comrades. Obviously they won't because they're self-absorbed hypocrites, but I do enjoy pointing out the hypocrisy. But technically the actors could do something like that if they were serious. So she says women have to be their own allies in Hollywood. No shit, so do men. Welcome to planet Earth. She says women are paid less than men because male stars have more drawing powers. Yeah, that's absolutely true for a variety of reasons, but I mean, you're not going to do anything about that. That is what it is. It's kind of rare to have a chick. Tomb Raider, back in the 90s, that was a drawing power. That had some appeal to it. And she's getting $25 million for a movie. She should petition the Filmmakers Guild to have the actors get behind equal pay for actors. The thing is, actors would still be well paid, but it wouldn't be $25 million well paid. It'd be more like, I don't know, $300,000-$400,000 per year of work, and you could figure it out how to prorate it for, you know, different things, but everyone could get paid roughly the same. You know, change starts with you guys. If anyone can make it happen, I'm sure Brie Larson and Scarlett Johansson can do it. Here's the thing. She's doing all these interviews ahead of these movies, and she's getting so up her own ass. Like when Brie Larson was doing those interviews, and she was saying, I do all my own stunts. I thought everyone did. And the he's all, yeah, you gotta lighten up, Tom Cruise. And then it turns out she actually didn't do her own stunts. And really, why would you have an actor do their own stunts? If they get injured, like Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, it's like, well, okay, now you've got a serious delay in the film. Like every minute delay costs money. So for her to say that, it's just weird. That's why I almost think she's on the spectrum. There's something wrong about her. And she was doing like her own YouTube channel where she was doing exercise videos. I gotta say, she's in incredible shape. I don't think she's ever seen a carb pass her lips. But even when she's doing those videos that were like really well produced, she doesn't come across like there's something missing from her. Every interview I've seen, this was like years ago, back when that Captain Marvel was coming out, when her interviews were coming out, I was like, there's just something off about her. She's just off-putting, and I don't know why people are fans. Like these, I'm assuming it's teenage girls who are standing her. Anyway, Scarlett Johansson came off as more human, not on the spectrum. But she's doing these interviews, and you sound like an idiot. You're being paid millions of dollars for all your movies. She's allegedly worked $80 million, talking about being underpaid. But her whole topic of discussion is, yes, women should be paid more. It's like, you're not really saying anything. Why don't you come up with something concrete, like I said? Oh, why don't you move for equity across the film guild. Have everyone pay the exact same amount. It's like all of a sudden it's the needle on the record scratch. They're not so cool with going from 25 million to 400,000. It's like, well, then how come nobody calls them out on the hypocrisy? Because they want to do a follow-up interview. That's why. And if you give anything but softballs, you'll never get another opportunity. So all these interviews are just pathetic. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I'll see you all next episode. And no, I won't be sharing my $3 on coffee with anyone.